Now, after studying the three theories, that is Lamarckism, Darwinism, and de Vries theory, in order to explain the concept of biological evolution, there was one of the most important concepts, that is modern concept of evolution, which completely explained the theory of biological evolution. This work was a result of important work done by many workers in the last few decades. That is, no single person was involved in order to maintain or explain the modern concept. There were many other scientists. As per the result of the previous theory, Darwinism explained the concept of natural selection, while de Vries theory explains the concept of mutation. Thus, according to these two scientists, that is Darwin and de Vries, the basic of any biological evolution is natural selection and mutation respectively. However, modern concept does not only involve these two. There are other factors also that constitute the theory of biological evolution, which is a part of modern concept, because they are significant in guiding the direction of evolution of the subject. Thus, the evolution and its significance can be explained on the basis of few factors like gene mutation, then number and structure of chromosome change, that is change in the number and structure of chromosome. The third factor that comes is genetic recombination. The fourth factor that involves is natural selection. And the fifth and final one is reproductive isolation. Thus, these five are the aspects of principle in order to explain the modern concept of biological evolution. Out of these five factors, the factors of gene mutation, changes in chromosome number and structure, and genetic recombination, together constitute the factors that are responsible for genetic variation. That is, these three factors are responsible for the creation of genetic variation among individuals. And the remaining two factors, that is, natural selection and reproductive isolation, are the factors of modern concept in order to explain the evolutionary process. That is, the evolutionary process can be explained with the help of these two factors. Apart from these five factors, there are also other two processes which can be considered as a necessary part. That is, these processes are essential but not as much as that of the previous five factors. These two processes involve migration of individuals from one population to other, and the second factor or process is hybridization that can be either between races or species. Thus, these are the two factors that comes under the necessary process of the modern concept of evolution, which are though necessary but not as much as essential that the previous five factors that are responsible for the genetic variation and evolutionary process. However, these two necessary processes are also responsible for creation of genetic variation within the individual. That is, these two processes, necessary processes, creates genetic variation among individuals. In order to explain the modern concept, there were contributions of few important workers or scientists like R. A. Fisher, second J. B. S. Haldane, then G. L. Stebbins, then Mayer, Sewall Wright, these were the few important workers that helped in explaining the modern concept of evolution. Following it comes another topic, that is mechanism of evolution. On the basis of these concepts and theories that explain the biological evolution, it is easy to understand now the mechanism of evolution. That is, different opinions lead to different theories like Lamarckism, Darwinism, de Vries theory and modern concept which explain the concept of evolution, on the basis of which the gene variation and speciation occurrence can be explained. That is, gene variation and speciation constitute the most important part in order to explain evolution. Apart from these, there was a scientist named Mendel. We have previously already studied about it, that it helps in understanding or stated about inheritance concept. Apart from this, the Darwin explained natural selection and Hugo de Vries who gave the De Vries theory explained the concept of mutation. On the basis of which the evolution mechanism can be understood. Thus, on this basis, it can be understood that the major and sequential factors that are responsible for the mechanism of evolution includes natural selection, mutation, and finally adaptation to habitat. Thus, on the basis of theory, these are the few important factors which helps in understanding the mechanism of evolution.